What's going on, Sports Nation? Welcome back to another video. And today we're doing something a little bit different. First of all, if you guys haven't joined my NCAA Tournament Bracket Challenge group yet on ESPN, I'll put the link in the description. Y'all should go join that. Without further ado, let's get right into this video. Doing a bracketology video for you guys. Latest updates from Joe Lunardi. And let's dive right into it. First thing I wanted to bring up is teams that have already punched their ticket to the NCAA tournament. Murray State, Chattanooga, Georgia State, Longwood, Loyola Chicago, Wright State, and Delaware have already punched their tickets to the NCAA tournament by winning their conference championships. And now let's dive deep into what Joe Lunardi has projected for this NCAA tournament. Top overall seed Gonzaga, first team out being Indiana, last team in being SMU. And next we have the teams that are on the bubble. First of all, if you guys hear the background noise, I'm just filming this outside, so that's what that noise is. The last four byes for the on the bubble section, we have Wake Forest, Creighton, Memphis, and Michigan. The last four in, we have Xavier, Wyoming, Rutgers, and SMU. The first four out, we have Indiana, BYU, Dayton, and Virginia Tech. The next four out, we have Virginia, VCU, Florida, and Texas A&M. Now, I'm a Florida fan, so I'm going to give my small little take on this. I think that if Florida wins one or two games in the SEC tournament, we will jump in just barely to that last four in spot on the bubble. I think that we have a good chance if we win our first game. If we win our second game, I think we're definitely in. But I think one game just might get us into the NCAA tournament. Now, let's dive into this 68-team projection from Joe Lunardi. First, we have the play-in games, which would be Nichols versus Alcorn State at the 16 seeds, Xavier and Wyoming at these 12 seeds, UNC Wilmington and Bryant at these 16 seeds, and Rutgers and SMU at these 12 seeds. Those are the play-in tournament predictions from Joe Lunardi. Let's move into some of his seedings. We're going to start on the West region. The 1 seed we have Gonzaga versus the 16 seed Nichols / Alcorn State, depending on that winner. 8 seed versus the 9 seed is TCU and San Diego State. 5 versus the 12 we have UConn and North Texas. 4 versus the 13 we have Arkansas and Vermont. 6 versus the 11 we have LSU and Michigan. 3rd versus the 14th Texas Tech and Seattle. And 7 versus the 10 we have Colorado State versus Wake Forest. 2 versus the 15 Wisconsin and Long Beach State. That is for the West region. Let's move on to the South region. The 1 seed in the South region we have Baylor versus Norfolk State at the 16. The 8 seed versus the 9 is Michigan State versus San Francisco. 5 versus the 12 is Alabama versus South Dakota State. 4 versus the 13 is UCLA versus Iona. 6 versus the 11 is Iowa versus Davidson. 3 versus 14 is Tennessee and Princeton. 7 versus 10 is Boise State and Creighton. And the 2 versus the 15, according to Joe Lunardi, would be Duke versus Jacksonville State. Now that is all of Joe Lunardi's projected matchups for the West and South regions. Let's move on to the East and Midwest predictions. So for the East region, 1 seed versus the 16. First of all, the 1 seed in the East region is Kansas versus 16 seeded Northern Kentucky. The 8 versus the 9 is Seton Hall versus Murray State. 5 versus the 12 will be Houston versus either Xavier and Wyoming, depending on who wins the play-in. 4 versus the 13 would be Illinois versus Toledo. 6 versus the 11 would be Ohio State versus Memphis. The 3rd and the 14th will be Villanova and Longwood. 7 versus the 10 will be USC and Notre Dame. 2 versus the 15 will be Kentucky and Georgia State. That is all for the East region. And now we have the Midwest region. The 1 seed in the Midwest would be Arizona versus either UNC Wilmington or Bryant at the 16. 8 versus the 9 will be North Carolina or Iowa State. 5 versus the 12, Texas versus either Rutgers or SMU. 4 versus the 13 would either be Providence or Chattanooga. 6 versus the 11 would be either St. Mary's or Loyola Chicago. 3 versus the 14 would be either Purdue, or sorry, I would keep saying either. 6 versus the 11 would be St. Mary's and Loyola Chicago. 3 versus the 14 would be Purdue and Montana State. 7 versus the 10 would be Marquette and Miami. And 2 versus the 15 would be Auburn and Colgate. So this is Joe Lunardi's 68-team field as of probably about 7 a.m. this morning. And if you guys want me to do another one of these tomorrow, make sure you leave a like and a comment. But let's dive into this conference breakdown before I end this video. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different conferences featured in the 68-team field as it stands right here. We have 8 teams from the Big 10, 7 from the Big East, 6 from the Big 12, 6 from the SEC, 5 from the ACC, 4 from the Mountain West, 3 from the WCC, 3 from the Pac-12, and 3 from the American Conference. So this is the bracketology from Joe Lunardi as of about 7 a.m. this morning. Let me know y'all's thoughts down in the comment section below. If you want me to do another one, I'd be glad to. And there is more matchups tonight. So we'll have a few more conference champions, I believe, determined tonight, possibly. I'm not unsure on the matchups. But anyways, that is the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you want another one of these videos tomorrow, I'll for sure do that for you guys. Peace out, guys, and I can't wait for March Madness to start.